Charles Barkley talking about you go take this man $34 million. Well, guess what? Their religion book says thou shall not steal. They've been stealing for black person. They've been stealing for black people ever since the early 1900s. Brandon, this is what they're doing to Kyrie Irving now. They want him to pay money. They want him to apologize, use the words they say to use to apologize. Right. They want him to attend training with this particular group.
Right.
And also they want him to speak to some rabbis on this particular group. So you see, this is a what you call those camps when they took the POW camps? They take the soldiers in there and try to brainwash them, reprogram. And that's what they're trying to do. And black people, the worst enemy of them all is black people. I said it, black people. Black people turn their back on Kanye West because they only think on surface levels. Black people turn their back on Kyrie. Now, here's the thing, Brandon. You don't have to like everything a person does.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Just because somebody said slavery was a choice, now anything that happens, you like throw it out the window. Who cares?
Right.
But you don't see what these people, the Semitic people, you see what the Semitic people is trying to do to these young black men.
Yeah. And if you're not up on game, you need to realize this. And that's the trick they use to play us. They'd be like, oh, look what he did right here. So you should turn your back on him. Join us. And so you can be whipping Kanye and whipping Kyrie. And I just cannot believe Shaq and LeBron too. LeBron made a statement about what Kyrie did too, and saying it was hateful. I just don't like that. Don't say anything about it. You don't have to say anything publicly about this. And now, go ahead.
Now watch this, Brandon. Why they gotta ask somebody who has nothing to do with Kyrie Irving a question? Why they gotta ask these black people that question?
Right, because they want to flex their power and show you how much control they have. If I was LeBron and they say, "Hey, LeBron, what you think about?" I'd be like, "I ain't got no comment on it. I'm gonna talk to Kyrie personally, and I'm gonna handle that privately."
No. See, you messed up now, Brandon. You talk about how I told you. Said, "No, I don't even talk to the motherfucker."
No, I didn't say that. I said I'm gonna. That's none of your business. How I feel about what he did. I play basketball. Don't y'all want me to shut up and dribble? Now you want to talk to me when something like this go on, or when black kids getting killed in the street. You want me to shut up, but now you want me to talk just because he posted a link. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I can't believe Shaq and I can believe Charles Barkley, but just because Charles Barkley seems to be on the other side a little bit, but you do not have to come out and try to attack Kyrie over posting a link to a movie.
Just posting a link. You could click it or you don't have to click it, people.
Right.
You can watch it and you don't have to watch it. But I guarantee you, $1 trillion, one of the top 10 biggest companies in the world right now, is streaming that movie and making millions of dollars off that rink-a-dink movie. The same movie they said Shaq posted up in his theaters a few years ago. It's all linked up. But let me show you a little history of what's going on, Brandon. You ever heard of a guy named Hitler, right?
Yes.
Who was Hitler to you?
To me, it was somebody who was responsible for the Holocaust. And go ahead.
You know how Hitler got his how he got his game plan from?
From where?
The treatment of blacks in America. He said, I need to figure out how the American white people oppressed these people and kept them in bondage. And after they got out of bondage, they still had them oppressed.
Yeah.
And one of the topics they used was propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Propaganda is delivered to media, newspapers, books, reports, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, before slaves got free, a black person could sleep in the same bed as a white person. Warm my bed up, get up in there, come through the front door. When we were slaves, we could come through the front door then. Come through the front door. But time we got free, everything flipped. You better not come through that front door. But get the fuck out that damn bed. Don't warm it up for me.
Right.
So Hitler used the strategies that American people, the white Americans, he used that over there in Germany. And he slowly started to brainwash these people with propaganda, saying, watch this, the Semitic people are taking our jobs. The same thing white folks over here say, the immigrants are taking our jobs.
Right.
Watch this. Then they say the Semitic people are getting these special benefits. The same thing people over here say.
Yeah.
The black people are getting all this welfare, which is a lie. Black people getting all this welfare. Then he started slowly brainwashing these people to marginalize this one group of people, same like the blacks got marginalized.
Right.
And once he came to power, once United States allowed Germany to have a police department, he started militarizing the police department. Kind of similar to what they're doing now over here. The police become like the damn military. They get the same guns, they get the same vehicles. And then he slowly brainwashed these people. Once he got enough power, boom, this what happened. And these Semitic people are doing the same propaganda that we use on them to black people today, because there ain't no difference.
But let's think about it from their point of view, because I try to listen to some of their talking points and they feel attacked. Like what Kyrie did was dangerous, right? Wasn't it? Like and they were saying how some attacks on churches or attacks on Jewish people is up, and I'm looking, I'm like, attacks are up in general. You know, what about us? Like, what about black people? What about Asian people? Like, everybody's being attacked. It's not just a certain group being attacked. And this is not something to stand on. Him posting his link or what Kanye said. We know what Kanye was saying. Why are they trying to jump on these things and blow them up more than they really are?
Hypocrites. I feel attacked too. They the Semitic people, the Hebrew Semitic people, they have I forgot what the name of their Bible, but it's basically the Old Testament. So they push this Old Testament on me. I'm being attacked because the Old Testament is about genocide, killing millions of people. Like I said before, cut the man thumbs off and have him serve you in your damn house. Or how about this? Pulling the kings out the caves, chopping the heads off, putting your foot on their neck, and hanging them up at nighttime so you can look at them swinging the trees. Now, is that hateful speech? That's a hateful religion, is it?
Right. Yes.
It's going on how you see it. So this is a bunch of hypocrites.
Do they feel jealous? Like they feel left out? Like, because we can say we're being attacked and we can show you how police doing this, X, Y, and Z, how it's not fair. And they just look for the smallest little thing to jump onto because they want to feel like victims too. You think it's some of that?
Why are you gonna be jealous? You got a pocket full of money.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I really don't know. We can trade. Let's trade. You want to be victims?
And you can do this. Well, you can do this. You know we did this before. You can do this. I'm a white man. I'm not religious. So you have the right to fade back, and people don't know who he is.
Right.
So you jealous for what? You got all the money.
You got all the money, the power, and control.
Charles Barkley talking about you go take this man $34 million. Well, guess what? Their religion book says thou shalt not steal. They've been stealing for black persons. They've been stealing for black people ever since the early 1900s.
Right, but that's okay. And you see Nike kind of I don't know if they suspended their deal with Kyrie, but I think they've halted some deals and halted some money with him just because he posted a link to a video they don't agree with. Yeah.
It's you ever seen a person get jumped?
Yeah, well,
you saw
not in real life.
Videos, right?
Yeah, I've seen videos.
So the person on the ground said one thing, but random people came in there and put the boots to him. Right. Now, who is the violent and hateful person, Brandon?
That's a good question. It's clearly Kyrie Irving.
The one person on the ground saying one thing, but everybody else putting the boots to him.
And this is my thing. Aren't we supposed to practice forgiveness and patience and all this stuff? It gets thrown out the window when it's us. But they want you, if a black person gets killed, or remember that cop came into that black man's house and shot him. Oh, we need to practice forgiveness, and it was a mistake. Let's just move on and forgive her, and let's give her a light sentence. It's none of that kind of stuff when it's just somebody posted a link.
I don't want to sound ignorant, Brandon. I don't. But let me see, get this boot up. I don't want to sound ignorant.
But that's what I would have told Kyrie. I would have been like, well, I posted a link. Just forgive me. and let's move on. Let's talk about. I got a game against the Celtics. Let me just shut up and dribble and shoot some shots.
Brandon, who's that man right there?
Jesus.
Supposedly. now you telling me I don't think the Semitic people believe in Jesus, so ain't no forgiveness, Brandon. I may be ignorant on there, but I think they don't believe in Jesus.
But I think a global kind of position is let's forgive.
Brandon.
But
Jesus taught us to forgive for our sins.
Right.
Remember, these people try to throw this man over the mountain. for doing what, Brandon? For speaking. This man was in the synagogue. He said, man, y'all better love your neighbors. They said, get this mother sucker out of here. Grab him. They grabbed him up. Took him to the edge of the mountain.
You know what? That's funny.
Took him to the edge of the mountain. But guess what? The Holy Spirit's out of nowhere. They just let him go. He just walked back to the grab. Walked back. But they grabbed him up because he was in that synagogue talking crazy. So it's a history.
It is a history.
Or the Old Testament. We don't know it's true or not. We'll know this is the New Testament. So they don't believe in the New Testament. But Jesus is about forgiving. I don't remember receiving no forgiving in no Old Testament.
And do you see how that picture? What kind of hair is that? Is that coarse?
That's an afro right there. You just can't see it. That's an afro right there. You just can't see it.
If you ask me, I'll say that's an Italian man. But okay, I'll take a word.
Brandon, I know it's a joke, Brandon. You know good as well. That tail silk. That tail's laid like fucking bacon on the pan, man. Shit.
Okay.
Teaching, look at that teaching with the shit with the man.
What is
I ain't saying nothing. Hey, how Jesus got a cross on the Bible in the picture? You see, you see that it makes sense,
right?
Well, hold on, what that cross doing up in there? He was already gone by then,
right? It's just imagery. You know, that's how they do. I was gonna ask you, but how do you feel about the cross? You know, like looking back at some of the stuff, that's where Jesus was crucified on the cross. But we buy charms, and I had a cross. Remember back in the day, I got one of them charms from the mall, some fake diamonds on it, a cross. But that's where they laid Jesus. And how do you feel about the cross? Do you still look at it the same way, or? A
cross is a cross. To me, that was a form of punishment for I guess the Romans use that as the worst punishment you could get. So it just happened. It just happened. He has crucified. And where in the Bible do they talk about they supersize cross up all the time?
Right.
And we make songs later, remember the cross, so we can remember Jesus. But I don't see. I ain't never read nothing in the Bible talk about who this cross represents.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it got. I don't want to say symbolized, but it just got pushed out there and marketed, and it's just big business now. You buy the cross, you wear a cross. They have crosses all over the church. It's just
It's just it's symbolism. But boy, if you post a cross up, that's hateful speech. We should not. That's against the Constitution. You cannot have cruelty as punishment. So every cross they post up, every picture with a cross, they need to get banned.
Right. And if we had a lot of like-minded people that felt the same way you did about that, and we had power, we could do whatever we want to do. And that's kind of what that community does when they feel the slightest bit of attack. They'll be like, well, it's
not attack, Brandon.
I'm just saying that's how they
uncomfortable.
Feel. Okay, they feel uncomfortable. I don't
like when you go to the doctor and they gotta put their finger up your booty to make sure ain't nothing plucked up. Uncomfortable, but they had to do it.
Right.
Uncomfortable with the truth. Like I said,
go ahead.
Jesus was in the synagogue. Now, look at the words I use. Jesus was in the synagogue speaking to the Semitic people that speak Hebrew. They didn't like what he was saying, and they wanted to throw him off the edge of the mountain, brother.
Right.